Yo, what's up, my goons? It's your boy Beasley, and welcome back to another episode of the Bate Escape podcast. You know, the podcast dedicated to all things soul, sexuality, and goon culture. How's it going? Happy Pride. We are in June. It is officially Pride Month. It is time to celebrate our people, our community. It's time to get out there and fight for our rights. There's a lot of shit happening right now in America, and we have to support each other now more than ever. And I'm so happy that you're here at this podcast, which is extremely LGBTQIA friendly. This is a safe space. So I'm so happy that you're here listening to this podcast. Um, and I'm so excited to bring you back another episode. And this episode is going to be really, really sexy because on the pod today, I have Barefoot Hunter 1. They are a bearded dad and they post pics of themselves. Lots of gorgeous pictures of this gentleman. He focuses on feet content. So listen up, all you foot lovers out there. This one is for you. We had a really great conversation. We talked about aging and sexuality. We talked about his love of feet. We talked about his ability to overcome his shame, about sex and his love of feet, and just had an overall really great conversation about owning your sexuality at any age. He is a really interesting person, and I loved having him on the pod and learning more about their work and who he is as an individual. And he was really, really cool person to talk to. So go check them out. You can follow all their socials at Bearfoothunter1. It is not safe for work, but you're going to have a really good time. All right. So please enjoy. Remember to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, share with a friend. And I will check in with you after the episode. Enjoy. What's going on? Hey, thanks for chatting with me. It's really exciting to chat with you. I've been really excited and looking forward to having a conversation with you about
Well,
all kinds of stuff.
well, thank you very much, and I'm flattered, and thanks for staying on it. Like I said, glad I'm feeling better, and almost sound like myself this morning. So, yeah, it's been a
I think you sound perfectly fine. It's a bummer to hear that you had the flu. It was the flu, right? Um, and I feel like it's good that you cleared it now because I feel like we're going to the spring and you want to be like up and ready for like fun stuff.
there. You go. There you
Great shirt,
go.
by the way, Master.
I thought I'd have a little fun today. Yeah, I did this rather intentionally. Just thought, oh, what the hell?
Well, that's nice. No, I
Thank you,
appreciate it. What's going on?
thank you.
Okay, so those listening, I had Barefoot Hunter on the pod, and if you don't know who Barefoot Hunter is, then you need to go check them out and go follow all their sexy social media, because they are, I would say, sex content creator, foot connoisseur,
Some truth
um,
to that.
yeah, and all those really fun things. So what, like, when people go to your content, they're gonna see a lot of butt and a lot of feet, a lot of butt and feet shots, I think.
There's probably some truth to that too.
So like how's it going? How are you feeling today? Everything
I'm doing
good?
well. I'm doing
Yeah.
well. I got up and had a nice little start to the day and got my gym workout in beforehand, so I'm good. No complaints. Hope you
Yeah.
are.
Well, I woke up for this.
Yeah, I'm a little ahead of you, so I've had a little more time than you have on this one. So thank you.
I know. No, it's fine. It's perfectly cool. It gives me an excuse to like, oh, I have to like get up this thing, and then afterwards I'm just gonna like go with the momentum. So I'm probably just gonna go for a walk and then get in my workout, and then like go on with my day.
Good deal.
Because there's like a bunch of other stuff that I do for like the pods today.
Okay, good deal.
So I've been following you for forever for your content forever, and I just always feel so like I don't know, it's really beautiful. I
Thank
feel like
you.
you have a really cool like aesthetic, and the way like you shoot things and your photography. Like, do you do all that stuff yourself?
Yes. Unless you see me specifically mention, I've worked with a couple of photographers recently, and I
Uh-huh.
do my best to tag them if that's the case because I want them to have credit.
Sure.
Other than that, you're seeing my photography, and thank you. I
Nice.
That's something that I have followed a couple of people over the years who I thought who really caught my eye because it was clear they weren't just snapping pictures, they were trying to create an image, set a mood, create a style. And I was really impressed by that. And so I really try hard to create something when I post something, that it's not just taking a selfie,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking that for anybody else, but yeah, I try to make a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but I like so I like I'm a photography major, so when I look at your photography or like when I look at your work, I can identify like composition and then your use of light. So I'm interested to know like where did you pick up those things? Are you just like shooting it because you feel it looks good, or you have like some kind of like inspiration, or like where are you looking at these images?
Oh, I am not classically trained in photography. I do have a
Mm-hmm.
design background, but it has nothing
Okay,
to do
word.
with photography or graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is just my taking in um, what appeals to me for composition and
Yeah.
and playing with that. So yeah, I am not classically trained at all. So
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's cool. I mean, you certainly have an eye for it. I feel like you should like do more photography. Like other, yes, you do beautiful pictures of yourself, but like, do you shoot other things? Do you photograph other things?
that is something that I did for a while when I was creating content, and I have shot some of the guys that I've filmed with.
Hmm.
And it's something I, for some reason, I've gotten away from, and I think I want to get back into um, just as another creative outlet. It's interesting you say that because that is
Yeah,
something I've really been thinking about is taking more time to do that, and I would love to put my
yeah,
spin on those things. So yeah, thank you.
yeah. You're welcome. I feel like I'm like the same. Like I shoot my own stuff, but it just gets really difficult. You can only do so much on an iPhone. I mean, the iPhones are really great. I do miss shooting like on a SLR. Um, and I also do miss doing like film photography. I have a really amazing camera that I used to shoot with a lot. That I feel like I should probably get out of the bag.
Yeah, and most everything that I do is on I'm
And an
on
iPhone.
A
Yeah.
Google, but yeah,
Oh.
same
Hmm.
thing. I mean, same difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, it takes a lot to try and it's always a mix of you if you find something that works, enjoying that angle or that whatever, and at the same time is the exact opposite of trying to come up with something new and different and fresh because
Hmm.
you don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fun battle. I'm not complaining, but yeah, it is definitely takes a little doing to mix those two things together and try to find some. I actually, and it's interesting. I am dumbfounded that I do this now. I mean, I started um, taking pictures of myself, and I mean, I know it goes back to like 2006, 2007,
Hmm.
back in the days of Flickr and Tumblr, and back then I was just trying to find community. I didn't think that there were other people or many other people that would enjoy, and I was just trying to see if I could find them. And it's
Enjoy what? What kind of community were you looking for?
foot content. Just
Okay. I see.
I would say some of that sort of soft fetish foot content.
Hmm.
And coming from North Carolina, that wasn't something that I knew where to find, and so I think I was sort of putting it out into the world to see if I could bring it my way because I didn't know where to go to find it.
Yeah.
And so it was also a sort of a self exploration for me of allowing myself to show a part of me that I was probably embarrassed about. That,
Hmm.
oh, I like something that's not in quotes normal.
Hmm.
And what I found out was it's completely normal. It's the only
Yeah.
reason it's not normal is because you think, meaning myself,
Yeah.
thinks it's not. And but we all live under that. And so it was
Yeah.
sort of an awakening for me from that perspective. And then it's grown and changed over the years. And
Hmm.
there was no plan for that. So it's really kind of interesting now that I'm doing what I'm doing, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, I was thinking about that a lot week. Like just like these self-imposed boxes that we put ourselves into, like wanting to do this thing and thinking that you're not capable, but it's just like you hold yourself in your own confines. Like no one's telling you, or maybe you are, but like you can totally break out of that. I don't know, like just going after what you want to, like, right? Like just kind of believing in like a certain truth and kind of seeking that out for yourself.
Well, I think we all have the capacity to be our own worst enemy, and I get messages from people all the time online. You know, I wish I could do what you do, but I don't know what I would show where I'm, you know, I don't look a certain way. And I'm like, look, the biggest thing I can tell you is I think people enjoy authenticity. If they see somebody that they can tell is doing what they want to do, they're not trying to do something to appeal to this third party that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I said, you don't have to have a certain body type. I mean, I could list 10 people that come up to mind that are all different types of body types from all different directions that have huge
Totally.
following. It's not about being 3% body fat and whatever. That's great. If that's your thing, it's awesome. But you can be any other version of it. And there is someone else who likes that. You've just got to be genuine with yourself and be willing to put yourself out there.
Hmm.
But I'm a firm believer that we just like seeing, you know, genuine content, if you will. That to me is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I think also too, like it's a thing where it's like people just don't know that they have this thing that people want to see.
Oh,
Like for
absolutely.
example, like I've just like, you live with your body parts most of your life and you're just like they've just been there the entire time. And then someone will just be like, wow, you have really amazing this thing. And then you're just like, oh, I never knew that about myself. And so there's an opportunity or there's like a clue to be like, maybe I should bank on this body part of mine.
Absolutely. And everybody, it's, I think feet is a pretty well uh, I think there are a lot of people that have a foot fetish. That's one of the more common ones, if you will. But there are people that are into, eye color. I mean, you name anything under the sun, hats, whatever it is. There's somebody, and that's fine, But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I mean, I had somebody I talked to online regular recently, told me that there's a specific part of my body that they really like. That's not something I've ever focused on, and I was like,
What was
I've never
that?
told they and honestly, it's not some they like a fuller chest on a man, and the way that there's sort of a line underneath the chest where the nipple and the chest sits. That's just a big
Uh-huh.
turn on for them. I've never heard that. I think it's really cool. And
Yeah,
but yeah, we all look at a picture and we see different things, and
totally.
and so that's not something I've ever considered before. And I was flattered that he liked, and that's really cool. But I've never heard that before.
But I'm curious to know, like, when did you like start to get inklings of like, oh, I might have a foot fetish. Like, I might be into these feet.
Oh, I've known that since I was a teenager. I mean, that
Oh,
was and certainly it was very covert. And my first partner clearly knew I had a foot fetish, but it was not something that we ever really discussed.
hmm.
And I was very embarrassed about it for a long time. Was scared somebody would find out or they think it was weird. And then I think that's one of the things that, and it happened in stages. But when I started posting pictures, like I said, it was back in the day, it was me of my feet, and I wouldn't show my face. It was just shots of my feet or from my feet up, and that kind of thing. And it was
Yeah.
very anonymous and that kind of thing. And as time went on, I got more adventurous and showed other things and showed my face or part of my face and then my face. And I have learned over the years that there were a fair number of people. I get messages, and it's one of the things that makes me the happiest about doing this.
Hmm.
I was following you back in those days, and I thought I get a message. I thought I was the only person who was into this, and you helped me realize that I'm okay, that there's nothing wrong with this. If I know I have had people respond to me like that, and
Yeah.
if it's only the ones that have responded to me, then I have done something that's so amazingly cool
Yeah.
That to me is like the best karma, that I help someone else be more comfortable and allow themselves to like what they like.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely.
best thing ever. Best thing ever.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I love those messages too, and I think like it's really exciting to be able to create a community that other people are be like, oh, this exists and it's okay to like kind of like these things. Um, I always see it as like if I get the one DM, it's like 200 other people feel the same way. It's very business-like. Like I learned that in journalism class. But yeah, like there's always more people behind the scenes that are enjoying it more that you might not hear are benefiting from it.
I would agree with you 100%. Yes.
Um, You know what videos I really like that you make? It's like a bunch of like older bros and dads, and you guys are like sitting around in like onesies, and then you guys like have a full-on orgy in your onesies, and I think that's really sexy.
Well, thank you. I do. There's a little crew that I film with from time to time. There's sort of a regular cast of characters. That's not always the case, but um,
I feel like I
w-
follow most of them.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like a little dad crew.
and we like. I really feel like what we try to do is sort of play into the sort of dad fantasy of intimacy, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just sex. Not that there's not sex in it, there is,
Right.
but it's not just the physical act of physical sexual act. It's that sort of community and that connection and that sort of sexual tension and that play, that I think that's part of the fantasy, that's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And so we do try to come up with ideas and do something that's a little different, just to kind of give a little context, as opposed to just here's a
Get
sect act.
into it.
Yeah. And so I'm sure there are people that's not their thing. That's cool too. But yeah,
Yeah.
we enjoy the creative part and the fantasy part of doing that. So
I
absolutely,
like
thank
it too. I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, okay, like I've seen all the sex acts. Like I've just like I've gone there. I've seen like the most heinous and disgusting things that people will do to each other. And now I'm just like, okay, like I need like something a little bit different, and I'm seeking more of like this like narrative. Like I'm really into like reading stories and like kind of like the buildup of the sex. Like I'm even totally okay with like not even having the sex. Like if it's just like the foreplay and like the turn on and like the leading to
you.
it,
Absolutely.
I'll get off to that.
I'm not the biggest. Um, I am not as well versed as a lot of people in porn, but I will say that some of these movies from the 70s and 80s had better natural dialogue, and had an
Yes.
idea, and everybody in it. I don't know if they were scripted, but they knew where they were going. They had an idea, and they created a mood, and I find those much more interesting
Hmm.
than some of the new. It's like there's three lines of dialogue, and then we start doing. It's like, no, that's not the same thing. And I don't want to be critical. Everybody has
No,
their
you're
own way
right.
of doing these things, but that older sort of style of I think was kind of sexy, and I like
Yeah.
that.
I like that too. Like I agree. Like 70s, 80s, 60s porn, there's always like this really intimate like narrative of like these two partners, and like one wants to like go out on the other partner, and like now they like encounter someone at the sex club, and like it's like it's like a trajectory. It's an
No,
arc. That's what I'm saying. A
absolutely.
sexual arc of like beginning to end, but it's so complex. It's so emotionally
Yeah,
attached to one another that you're just like, oh, like I'm invested in this relationship. Plus, I get the sex.
absolutely. So yeah, so I mean, that certainly comes into play with some of the stuff that we do, and I think it makes it fun for us as well, trying to come up with ideas and be a little creative, and keeps it interesting for us. But it's done for the people that are enjoying it. So I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just for us. It works both ways.
Well, I'm curious to know like what was maybe not a catalyst, but like what in yourself like wanted you to like show your body, like be an exhibitionist and like be on display this way.
Was not aware that I was an exhibitionist, and I don't think there's any way that I can deny that that's true. I mean, I
Hmm. Yeah.
for me. I don't think when I first started doing this, I really don't. I can genuinely say I did not think that anybody else would specifically want to look at me. I
Hmm.
again, your own worst critic.
Yeah.
It was just trying to find other people and make that connection. And so in stages over the years, it has been a pleasant surprise and a boost. And I'm very flattered and thankful that people do like seeing me show myself. And I've found that I enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
I was talking with a friend of mine who go-go dances at one of the local bars, and I've got a couple that do, and I think I've said to both of them that I was like, I just cannot. I think it is so cool you do this, and I just think you've got bigger balls. I think is exactly what I said. I think I can say that on there than I would ever have. And they're like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "You're in front of the camera." I said, "No, no, it's entirely different. The idea of getting on that stage in a bar and a
Hmm.
platform and dancing scares the hell out of me. The
Mm.
difference between me showing myself to a camera, knowing there's the very different thing, but to be out like that in public,
Yeah.
that frightens me, and I can understand why somebody would feel the flip. Like, well, I can't imagine showing myself on
Yeah.
camera for other people to see with no clothes on. Totally normal reaction. I get it.
Yeah.
We're all different that way. But
Totally.
so you have to find out. The good part about this is that I feel like it has allowed me the freedom to explore the things I want to explore, and
Hmm.
I don't feel shame about it. I mean, when I first started doing this, and first started an OnlyFans page or a Just for Fans page, there was that trepidation of I'm going to run into somebody I know that's going to have seen something,
Yeah.
and they're going to, and it does happen. And after the first couple of times, like I was at a party, it's been several years ago, and I'm standing there, mixing a drink and grabbing food, and this person said, "I've seen you online," and I'm like, "I know, I put the pictures there," you know. And they were trying to be really nice. They weren't being ugly, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't feel shame about that anymore.
Yeah. Totally.
I've said to a couple of times that we all have sent pictures from one person to another, showing ourselves in various. I mean, if you've ever been on an app, you've sent a picture of some part of your body to
Sure.
somebody else.
Yeah.
So the difference there is audience. You're doing it to one person you think and you hope. Hopefully that's a cool person and they're not gonna share that picture with others if you don't want it.
Right.
We're doing the same thing. We just change the audience and the scope of whom we show it to.
Yeah.
Um, and so I feel I'm very thankful and I feel very happy that that type of shame or being worried that somebody is going to see me is that's gone. I mean, it's out there and I'm okay with it. And I embrace it.
Yeah. That's the power of the internet.
Exactly.
It's just gonna live on forever. Yeah, no, there's something really sexy about that. There's something, I don't know, there's something kind of romantic about that to like live, to have this image of yourself kind of live on forever. But also too, like I feel like really empowering can someone can look at the imagery, someone that resembles you, that someone that's like in your age bracket, that's someone that kind of lives in that area can say, hey, this person is out living their truth. I can certainly do it myself. And they look like me, they have my body type, they're similar vibes. And so that people can find beauty in that. That's really exciting. But I was thinking about you and your go-go friends and how like you have anxiety about doing that in public versus doing that in front of the camera. That's real. I could totally feel that because I feel like when you're behind the camera, you can curate it, right? Like it's not an automatic,
Absolutely.
it's not automatic out. Like you can pause it, you can color it, you can crop it, you can do so many things before it actually goes out to people. If you're go-go dancing, your ass is out. Like everyone's seen every nook and cranny. That gives you a lot of anxiety.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could not be more true. I mean, if whether you're taking pictures or you're filming something, if
Yeah.
there's something that goes wrong or there's a bad angle or somebody
Yep.
says something, you
Yep.
know, you don't have to show that part. It's up to you if you do or not. if you're on stage and you have an interaction with somebody and it
Yeah.
does, you don't do what you wanted to do, or you fall flat on your butt, or you have, it's there. There's nothing
I'm
you, and you don't know how people around you are going to
gonna
react
yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
And again, that's all in my head, just as other
Yes.
things in other people's. I'm not disowning any of that, but it's very different. But that to
I
me
know.
is so much more scary than, and of course, part of it is because I've taken 400 billion pictures. That's easier for me. But the
Yeah.
idea of getting up on that stage,
Yeah.
yeah, no way.
I was talking to a friend about that, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm just so jealous of these go-go dancers." They're just like, "No, you look fine. Your body's great." I'm like, "It's not about our bodies. It's about like them and being embodied. It's about
Exactly.
them like being like really confident and just being like, I don't care what my body looks like. Granted, it's gorgeous, but like I'm willing to just show it and be free and like know that I can move in a way that's gonna make me feel sexual and communicate that to others. That's where the jealousy lies. And so that's kind of always just like been my own like personal journey to like be more embodied. I feel like maybe that's why I kind of quit like showing off so much because I was like, this isn't really working for me. Like I'm not this isn't really my vibe. This is more of like because I live in my head most of the time. I
Well,
feel
and
like
and
a podcast is like an easier outlet for me.
and as much as I say the things about in my journey that it's been a surprise, but that this
Hmm.
has made me more comfortable with myself and feel, there are going to be people that feel the exact opposite about that, and that's okay too. The biggest thing is giving yourself to the room to explore. If there's something you want to explore, whether it's go-go dancing or showing yourself
Hmm.
online, or
Hmm.
there's a specific, like or fetish that you're interested in, I always
Hmm.
encourage people, try it once, see what it's like. Don't go through
Yeah.
your whole life wishing you had done something.
Mm.
If you don't like it, okay, all right, I tried it. It wasn't for me. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there's so many of us that are so scared about the outcomes that we don't give ourselves the room to enjoy or try something that we really would like to do. And that doesn't have to be sexual. It's in all kinds of different ways.
Totally.
But I think if you give yourself the room to do it, don't go through life with regrets going, "Oh my god, I wish I'd, sucked on some guy's toes at some point." Try it one time. If you don't like it, don't ever do it again. If you like it, boy, you're going to be really glad you tried it, and you're probably going to want to do it again. But that can be a hard hurdle to get over, and I respect that. But I try to
Hmm.
encourage people to have the freedom to do what they want to do.
Yes, sir. Spoken like a true daddy. No, that's
Thanks.
great. No, I think that's like really no, that's really great wisdom. And for me personally, like watching you and watching like your the people that you create content with, like it's like it's inspiring to me. Like as I get older, like to still and be embodied at like any age, really. And to say that you can grow with age, or you can grow gracefully, and you could still be like this viable sexual person showing off the goods.
It is. I turned 60 last fall,
Whew,
and to say that I am
that's so hot.
more surprised than anybody that I'm doing this at 60 blows my mind. And I'm very thankful. And yeah, it's nice to show that there is life after, pick whatever age and insert it you want to. I've
Sure.
got a really good friend who was a former Mr. IML, and he's in his 70s.
Mm.
And he has an amazing body. He is just an amazing person. And so I have him as somebody that going, you know what? I might not be done with this in my 60s. This is somebody who's in their 70s and they're looking great. And I'm like, all right, that's all. I really, it's nice to see that all the way through. So if I help others with
Yeah.
that, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I totally, yes. I think that's great. The other person that I find really inspiring is Father Mark. Like I
Okay.
just hung out with him, I feel like last weekend, because I was in Palm Springs, and I was just like, God, like I feel myself like gravitating towards, mature men, and because I feel like I'm getting to that area of my life, and I'm really happy about that. I feel like I'm in the phase of my life kind of like transitioning and kind of owning that and really inhabiting that space.
The
Because
best thing about, for me, late 40s, early 50s and on
yeah.
is that I don't know when or why it happens, but I know other people, many other people that would agree with me on this. I guess it's just because of life experience. And so
Hmm.
you really do begin to care less about what other people think, and it gives you the freedom to do what you want to do. And I
Totally.
really do think it's something that age and experience, life experience, helps provide you. I don't think it's a, anything else. And so that's one of the best parts about getting older. I don't have to worry about some of the things that I used to worry about, because you just don't, you
Hmm.
realize that it doesn't get you anywhere. And so that's one of the nicer things about getting a little older.
Was it a difficult transition though? Did you ever experience that where it's just like, God, like you were young, or, I'm using air quotes here, like you were considered young, now you're going into this daddy phase. Like, was it hard to kind of like
I
enter
can
this new phase?
I can remember very clearly that in my early 30s, that I made a conscious effort, a decision. I was like, I want to eat healthy and work out, do all this stuff, because I want to be at my very best in my life at 35. Don't ask me why 35. I don't know, but it was
Yeah.
35.
Okay.
And I did the, probably 33 to 35. I focused on those things. And then you got to 35, and I was like, okay, now what does that mean? Life is over? I mean, if is this the
Yeah.
best I'm ever? So what do you do now that you've hit that goalpost? Are you just supposed to stop and fade away? And um, you know, 20 years ago, daddies were not the same thing that they are now. I can remember approaching 40, and it was never a problem for me. But at that time, I would say it was much more prevalent in the gay community that somebody's, oh, yeah, a little old. Let's just kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
that has very much changed. I mean, it blows my mind how much that has changed. So, other than that little period between 35 and 40 of my own not knowing where I wanted to go, and there was a little different thought process in the community back then about ageism and aging. Um,
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel very fortunate.
Yeah.
The beard started turning white early, and I embraced it, and I'm okay with it. I'm
No,
not.
it's a good one. I mean, I definitely have like the grays growing in the beard too. I, 'Cause I see my body changing. Like I'll find the grays in my eyebrows. Like I'll find the grays in certain places that weren't
Oh
growing
yeah.
before, and I'm just like, holy shit. The reason I bring that up is I just feel like in the queer gay community, like ageism, especially among gay men, is such like a heated topic. Like there's such like a it's so emotional. It's a very emotional attachment to people's age. Like this idea of like wanting to stay like a youthful gay twink or youthful gay man. And like as you get older, like that kind of like, your body changes, you're not as mobile, like your muscles aren't looking the same way, your face isn't looking the same way. It's just kind of like this drastic change of like you're not like you're no longer a part of this in some way. And yes, it has changed, but I feel like growing up, I was still affected by that, and so
Oh,
it's a journey of like de-learning that and just kind of embracing
I
the
think that.
joy of like being alive, like just
Oh,
in and of alive in and of itself.
no, I absolutely. I feel like I have earned every white hair in this beard
That's
from
what yes, that
and
is what
and
I'm talking
and
about.
I have been asked. It's very rare, but it does come up every once in a while. Somebody will say something about, you look a lot younger if you dyed your beard, and I'm like, okay, I don't recall asking you if I wanted to look younger or what you thought I should do to do that.
Clock
But
it, clock it.
we'll pull that aside. But I'm like, listen,
That's right.
somebody with a dark beard who's young cannot do this. You cannot replicate that. I can dye
Yeah.
my beard dark hypothetically, but so I'm this is a
Yeah.
badge of honor. I'm proud of this, and yeah, it's a part of me,
I'm proud of it too. Like I have the gray hair too. Yeah,
and it
like
looks good on
as
you.
thank you. Like as I'm getting older, like I'm just like it just becomes to a point where it's just like it is what the fuck it is. Like I don't, this is what I'm giving. This is where my else in my life is at. Yes, I can change it. Do I want to? Like, it's all conscious choice, but I'm just like, who am I doing that for? Right? Like, I'm not like,
I hear you.
you're not fucking paying my bills, bro. You ain't fucking
There
me.
you
So
go.
like, I'm not like changing my body for you. This is what the fuck it is. It's what it's giving.
Yep,
I don't know.
absolutely. I think
It's
it's
a
a
very
good way to look
bratty
at it.
attitude how to have. It's a very what am I the fuck? It's a very brat attitude to have. Are you a big Charlie XCX fan?
I'm not. I know what you're referencing, and I know some of her music. But I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but yeah, I know what you're doing.
You mean you didn't have a
Flash
brat
the neon
summer?
green about now.
You didn't have a brat summer?
I don't know that I did have a full brat summer. I think there might have been a little bit of brat in it, but yeah, I've got my neon green somewhere. But yeah,
Neon green. I fucking love that shit. No, it's cool. Like what are your plans for like your OnlyFans and like kind of projecting in this career? Like what's like the next big thing that you're working on?
so I have had the last 2 years have been very good with that. It has definitely grown.
Have you
Um,
only been doing this for 2 years? I
I've
feel like
been
you've done
doing
it
it
for
for
longer.
I've been doing it for what, 4, maybe 5 years now. About 5 years.
Huh.
About 5 years. The
Okay.
last couple of years has definitely been a big growth push for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you have a really big following.
And I very, very thankful that, like I said, there's a core group of people that are great to be around, that I have fun with. We travel 2 or 3 times a year, 3 or 4 times a year. We've got a trip coming up to make content. And, so that's been a really good thing. And we all enjoy sort of promoting each other, that there's sort of a
Yeah,
little sense of community there.
totally.
And my content sort of breaks down into a couple of directions. It looks like there are people that definitely follow me for very specific foot fetish content.
Mm-hmm.
That's certainly where it started. And then it has, I've grown into doing some more traditional, selling more, sex work, more sort of traditional porn kind of thing, if you will. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a mix of those things. And I'm looking to sort of expand that and to keep going in that direction. And I think there are new things I can do, but the basics I think are there. And I've got tons of boys that like being down at daddy's feet. And so that's a good starting place for me all the way around. And I enjoy
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. No, that's great. I feel like foot stuff is sexy. I feel
Well,
like I've been wanting to get into that bag. I've had numerous like people have like really complimented that aspect of me, so I'm just like, oh, I should try that. I don't know, I just get really lazy though, because I feel like it's such like I don't know, like I'm just like, isn't it difficult? Like, don't you find it difficult like having to appease people? Like, I don't know, not like appease people, but like, oh, like there's so many things that you have to do in order to like maintain this level of like following.
so
Do you feel a lot of pressure to do
I,
it?
I do not feel pressure. I don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna do now. Doesn't mean that if I had a request. I think it was last week. Somebody sent me a message and went, do you have any videos of you kissing? Well, you know
Mm,
what? I haven't shown that in a while. So I made a little montage and posted a video of me, and it was just kissing different guys, that just very intimate, very playful kind of stuff. That's
yeah.
so I am happy to take comments and feedback, especially from my subscribers.
Yeah.
By the same token, sometimes I get requests and of something that's not in my wheelhouse. That's not something I do, and I'm just going to
Mm,
politely tell that's not something I'm comfortable doing. So it's not something I think I'm going to do well, that you're going to enjoy, but it doesn't make. And please respect that. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy it. I'm just not the person to look for that specific type of content from, and I hope that's
mm.
okay. But yeah, so it's
It's good feedback.
as a friend of mine who makes content was saying that they were very uncomfortable talking in front of the camera, which I do a lot of. I mean, I'll do a 15-minute video with my feet up and I'm just talking to you, and just it's a sort of stream of consciousness sort of thing.
Mm,
And I said, the only thing I can tell you on that is if that's something you want to work on, set up the camera and talk to yourself while you're washing the dishes. Just
Hmm.
say stupid. You don't have to show it to anybody. In fact, probably don't show it to anybody. But look at it yourself and go, okay, that's a good angle. That made sense. And it's doing
Yeah.
a couple things. It gets you in the pattern of doing it, and it also, the more you see of yourself on camera, the less that there's that initial thing of, oh my God, my voice sounds weird. I look weird. That's not what I think I look like. And you can actually gauge what you're doing versus that initial perception of what we think we are versus what the camera shows us, because that
Totally.
stifles us so much that, oh, I don't ever want to hear that again. I don't sound like that. My voice, it really doesn't. You just have never heard it. And once you learn
Yeah.
that's what it is, you can give yourself a lot more room. So I encourage people just to, play with stuff like the same thing, taking pictures. Whatever it is you want to show, take a bunch of pictures. Delete
Yeah.
every one other than the good one or all of them and start again, but figure out what you like and what you don't like and what you want to show, and let
Yeah.
that help you do it better.
Yeah. Fucking take up space.
Absolutely. There's
No,
that
it's true.
little,
I feel every time I like take a shot for Instagram or whatever, I'm literally going through like 50 images and I'm choosing like the best two. That's just like from a photographer's perspective. Like you're gonna take 100 shots. You're only really gonna work on the best three.
well, and I remind people all the time, it's like, you do realize that Instagram or OnlyFans is not real life. I'm not going to show you the bad pictures. You trust me. There
Absolutely.
are times when we all. I don't
Hmm.
care what you do. If you're on any type of social media, you're showing the things that you want to show. Whether it's your dessert from last night, whether it's your feet, whether it's your whatever else, you're curating and you're showing the best of what you want people to see of you. It's not reality. It's a slice of reality, but there's so much that you're not sharing, you
Yeah.
know, when
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. Yeah.
taking out the trash and you drop the trash bag. That's not the picture you see on Instagram. And that's part of life for all of us. And you've got to remember, we all still do those things.
Yeah, I constantly remember that because I'm always looking at people and I'm just look at the body because they might be a shit person, but you're really just admiring the ass.
Enjoy it for what it is.
Like compartmentalize and kind of like build your own
Absolutely.
fantasy around it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that is a really neat trick. But I was gonna say, like, suggest like that might be a new bag, like just like putting out like really gross pictures. Because I feel like a lot of people like, I feel like a lot of
I'm,
people might get off on that.
I'm gonna let somebody else start that trend. I'm not going. I'm not going first on that one. I'm just going to tell
That's
you.
funny. It ain't gonna be me.
Never say never, but I'm not going first.
That's funny. Well, I mean, that's like what goon culture is anyway. Like, goon culture is just like basically putting out the most horrific pictures of your dumb face as you're gooning, and people get off on that shit.
Because I think they like the honesty of it. They like seeing people let go. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's. I think it's both those things. I think it is the
Yeah.
dumb picture, but I think as much as anything, it's that real honesty of, I'm in a headspace. I am so far into this that I have just let go, and they're seeing that honesty, and that's what I was saying in a different way earlier. But I think that's
Yeah.
true. It's like, you know, you can't make that up, or you can tell when somebody is really in that headspace. That's what gets people going.
How much do you love the gooners gooning on your dad feet?
Oh, I think that's amazingly hot.
Hmm.
Absolutely. If
Are
that's
the gooners in your DMs?
oh, they're definitely people that enjoy that. Yes. Yeah. There's no two ways about it. I mean,
Do you
yeah,
goon?
I don't think I'm a classic gooner. I mean, I enjoy myself and I enjoy myself on camera, but it is probably, I definitely would not be into that full goon phase that we're talking about, of just completely letting go and the crazy
That's the
faces.
behind the scenes content for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you
There's
goon in private? Are you gooning? Are you gooning behind the scenes?
I think I have too many probably control issues to go full-fledged into gooning, but I can
Oh,
let go every once in a while. Yeah.
oh, we gotta
Again,
get you. We gotta get you gooning, bro.
again, totally into it, and I love anybody. And if it's just you enjoying yourself,
Yeah.
I'm 112% into that. Do what you want to do. and have fun with it. And
Yeah.
definitely your own body is something to learn what you like and explore. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, that's always so like I've said that to some people before, and I was just like, yeah, I get turned on by my own feet, or I get turned on by my own leg, or whatever, and they look at me like I'm stark crazy. I'm just like, don't you feel that way about your own body? Like, aren't you getting off on yourself? And people are just like astounded by that, and I'm just like, bro, you need go work it out, dude, because like you're missing out, man.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, like I said, different things work for different people, but
Yeah,
being in tune with what clicks for you and
yeah.
giving yourself the room to enjoy it. That's
It's
that's the thing. And so if it is your own feet or it's your, your own cock, whatever it is,
yeah.
go for it. If that's what gets you going, why would you deny yourself that pleasure?
That's just a solo sexual talking in me.
Yep,
It's a journey, in bros, if you're out there, figure it out. Do your own thing. Like get off by yourself. It's a good time. Because I feel like, if you love your feet, someone else is gonna love your feet. Because you love them. Do you know?
absolutely.
Like I love it if you love it. Unless it's like something really gross, then I probably will be then I probably will be into it.
Yeah, we're also entitled to limits. Just because someone else likes it doesn't mean you have to.
That's
But,
right.
that doesn't diminish the fact that they do and should enjoy what they enjoy, as long as it's all legal and all that good stuff. Do
Yeah.
what you wanna do and be yourself and be as wild and crazy as you wanna be.
Yeah. Be be into it. I love that.
Exactly.
So you're on Instagram too. I follow
On
your
Instagram
Instagram.
too.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Curated foot photography selfies.
The Instagram has been awesome.
Hmm.
I have to be very, very, very careful on
Yeah,
Instagram.
totally.
I posted a picture of me in underwear the other day, and they immediately pulled it. It's just I
Isn't that
can't.
so wild?
It's always been that way for me on Instagram, and I don't know why. It
I
just,
think that algorithm got you flagged, homie.
yeah. And so it's my I try to play with the sexy, playful side on Instagram without
Yeah.
really trying to show anything because I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy the Instagram community.
Hmm.
I My followers, I mean, I got booted off of Instagram for
Hmm.
a very not a picture that I shouldn't have gotten, and they just deleted my account. And I took about a 2-year break from Instagram. I started maybe a little less than a year ago, started back
Uh-huh.
on Instagram, and it's been amazing the people that have found me again, and that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
have some great conversations. And there's just a really nice community there. There's more interaction with Instagram than there is with Twitter. Or
Mm, hmm, hmm.
Yeah, and I still call it Twitter. I'm just sorry. I'm not going to try and
Everyone
make
cut.
I'm
It's
not going to try and
Twitter.
make him happy by calling it something else. It's still Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Um, and same with Blue Sky. That hasn't fully formed yet, but it's not the same sense of
Yeah.
community there. I hope it will
Hmm.
be. I really hope Blue Sky is the next thing, but it's not there for
Yeah.
us yet. But I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, I feel like all the different social media apps have like different ways of communication. Like one won't work with the other. Yeah, I feel like I've definitely started to engage in Blue Sky more. I really want to get off of X, but I have the most following there, and so I'm kind of like trying to navigate over. But like Instagram is really cool because like Instagram is like more fun. I feel like Instagram really shows my personality more because you have like the videos and like the photographs and like you can get like more like fun with it, I think.
And it takes a long time to sort of to learn your own place in the different platforms. I would agree with you. I don't
Yeah.
post exactly the same thing on Instagram that I do
Yeah.
on Twitter that I do on Blue Sky. And you
Yeah.
kind of have to figure. I think it's different audiences, but then you also have to find out what your audience on each of those platforms, sort of what works and what engagement you enjoy doing and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a learning experience.
Yeah. I don't know. The business of it gets kind of like boring, but it's important, I
Yeah,
guess.
no, I mean, it is definitely, it is something
Yeah.
that I spend a lot of time creating content, scheduling.
I think that's important to
marketing.
like recognize, yeah, like as like a content creator or like a content performer, like there's a lot of behind the scenes that you have to do that people aren't. There's a lot of production, bro. Like there's a lot of cold calling, there's a lot of scheduling, there's a lot of editing, there's a lot of like it's like yes, it's sexy, but like there's work behind it. And even more work when you're just like a one man show. Like I don't have like a team behind me, so it's
and
like
and I don't and
learning
I
all
don't
those tools and like
I don't have a team either. And
yeah.
there's different ways of doing it. I mean, this has become um, a second business for me, and so I take it seriously. I if I ever
Totally.
don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. I don't, but
Yeah.
it is something that I enjoy and trying to figure out how to make it better and learn new things and grow the business and grow my follower base and subscriber base.
Uh-huh.
But then there's some other OnlyFans accounts, and they do it just because they want to film with content creators, and that's completely okay. You don't have to do all this stuff there that they can go together, but they don't have to go together. They're not mutually required or mutually exclusive. And so if you just want to have an
Yeah.
account and you want to film with people that film, because it's kind of hard, it's gotten really tough, especially with OnlyFans. If you're not registered on there, they can bump that content off at any time. They may not
Yeah.
accept it to start with. And so there really has become that sort of divide of people who are registered
Versus
as
not registered.
creators, and I have friends and I have guys I film with that they post every once in a while, but they're not trying to build a business out of it, and that's completely cool. I
Yeah.
do it again. Do with it what you want to do with it. You don't have to do it one way, but
Yeah.
it's definitely there's a business aspect of it for me as well.
Yeah. It's your OnlyFans. Do what you want.
That's right.
Cool. I love that.
Thank you.
Where can people find your social medias?
So I am Bearfoothunter1, BEAR Foot Hunter One on OnlyFans and Just for Fans, and the same on Instagram and Twitter. So they're the big four, if you will. And if you
Yeah.
go to any of them, there's a link tree that'll get you to the other stuff there. So
Yeah, I'll definitely have that link tree so people can go check out
thank you.
your big dad feet.
Thank you very much. Greatly
You're
appreciate
welcome. Yeah, no, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, so I'm really excited that we finally committed. And I think you're awesome. I think that you are doing really fun work. It's really sexy, and I think that you're helping a lot of people um, with their foot fetishes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that's a huge compliment, and I appreciate your being patient with me. I've
Of
been looking forward to doing
course.
this with you, so this has been fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, very cool. So I'm your host, BC Bader. Thanks everyone for listening to this episode of the podcast with Barefoot Hunter. Go check out their stuff. It's not safe for work. So go check it out in
Very
your
true.
lunch break in your
There,
car.
there you go. There you go.
And enjoy that good stuff. And I will see you on the next episode of the Bate Escape podcast. You can follow all my socials under BC Bader. Bye, y'all.
Take care.
Yo, what's up? It's basically how sexy is Bearfoothunter1? Aren't they amazing? I love talking with them. They were so open and so generous with their time, and I love hearing about his story and his sex journey. And I found him just really super inspiring. So go check them out on social media. They are on Instagram. They have an OnlyFans. They have a Just for Fans. You're not going to be disappointed. He has lots of different content. Of course, it is not safe for work, but you're going to have a really good time. Again, it is Pride Month, so I hope that you are enjoying yourself and you are celebrating yourself. If you are part of the LGBT community, go out and party and celebrate and honor your brothers and sisters. If you are an ally, thank you for supporting our rights and have a great time. And remember to be safe out there and take care of each other. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.